Hello and welcome to Box Office Receipts. I'm your host Alec Callahan, and we got some good numbers to talk about thanks to F9. Along with that, we got some other news in Hollywood as a lot of films start to go into production. Let's start with the numbers. We were all wondering if F9 would deliver a great opening domestically, and well, it did. It was estimated to come in around 60 million, however, shot past it, and opened in first place with 70 million. In second place was A Quiet Place Part 2 with 6.2 million for a total of 136.4 million. In third place is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard with 4.87 million for a total of 25.8 million. Fourth place was Peter Rabbit 2 The Runaway with 4.85 million for a total of 28.8 million. And lastly, in fifth place was Cruella with 3.7 million for a total of 71.3 million. So yeah, F9 delivered the goods, but the question now is how will its legs be? With its domestic release, more reviews have come out, and it is hovering around 60%, making it the worst received movie critically on Rotten Tomatoes, at least since The Fourth back in 2009. However, for audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, it is a bit higher than The Fate of the Furious, which is good, because that movie sucked. Anyway, it has 2 weeks to make most of its money, because Black Widow is coming, and it will likely open even bigger than this, possibly even 100 million. But as long as F9 can leg it out to at least 125 million, maybe even 140 million, I would consider it a success domestically. At least here, the franchise is waning in popularity, plus coming out of the pandemic, that would be a successful result in my book. As for this upcoming 4th of July weekend, we got a triple threat of Universal movies. Leading the pack is still F9, but then we got newcomers with The Boss Baby Family Business and The Forever Purge, which they are saying will be the last Purge movie. Yeah, okay. The last one for like 3 years until they reboot it. Heading over to China, the numbers are not looking as great as I thought they would be. In first place is one of the bigger, if not the biggest film for the 100th anniversary of the Communist Party, and that is 1921 with 11.6 million. In second place is Man in Love with 5.3 million for a total of 27.6 million. Opening in third place is Between Us with 5.06 million. In fourth place is Peter Rabbit 2 The Runaway with 3.5 million for a total of 22 million. And in fifth place was On Your Mark with 3.3 million. It should be noted that for 1921, that was all technically from preview showings, as the film is not out in wide release until July 1st. Could that mean strong demand for the film? Maybe. It's not clear from preview showings how many there were, clearly enough to make 11 million, but it also shows the need for more movies in China if the one doing only previews can take first place. Looking at worldwide numbers, F9 not only opened in America this weekend, but also in the UK, Brazil, and Mexico, altogether pushing its worldwide total to 405 million. Looks like at this point 500 million is a lock, possibly 550 million. A Quiet Place Part 2 is now at 248.5 million. Fantastic news for Paramount as it's about to pass 250 million. Cruella is close to hitting 200 million worldwide, with it at 183.8 million. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, is at 160.6 million. Not too bad. Peter Rabbit 2 The Runaway passed 100 million and is now at 107.8 million worldwide. And Wrath of Man is also very, very close to passing 100 million, with it now at 97.5 million. Now let's get into updates for some movies in production, because there are quite a few. Last week I talked about the newest Transformers movie from Paramount, and they have a new casting. Collider is exclusively reporting that Ron Perlman has joined and will be voicing Optimal Primal. I like the casting, personally, because I like the actor, and besides, Perlman has a great voice for a Transformer. Going back to Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel has said F10 and F11 will start filming next January. This will be the ending of the mainline Fast and Furious franchise, though don't be surprised if they do more spin-offs. From the sounds of it, not only are 10 and 11 like a Part 1 and Part 2 situation, they will also be filmed back-to-back as well. As for when they'll be coming out, I think May 2023 and May 2024 respectively. These are summer movies, so assuming no other pandemic occurs, I think that is what they will go for. Coming off his debut with The Father, Florian Zeller has started working on his next movie with The Son. This will also be adapted from his stage play of the same name. Right now, he has casted Hugh Jackman, Laura Dern, and Vanessa Kirby in the main roles, but the only key casting left is who will play The Son. This will be one to watch because he just won an Oscar for adapted screenplay for The Father. Can he do it again with The Son? Also, with Anthony Hopkins winning Best Actor, there could even be acting nominees for some of the cast here. But yeah, just the cast itself is pretty great. I still need to see The Father. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Damien Chazelle's next movie, Babylon, has added more cast members as it gets ready to start filming next week. The cast now includes Olivia Wilde, Tobey Maguire, and Spike Jonze. Of course, the movie is being led by Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. This is looking like a great cast, and I can't wait to see what Chazelle does with the movie. Right now, it is set for a limited release December 25th, 2022, to qualify for awards, and then a wider release January 6th, 2023. Babylon is not the only film getting ready to film, as some big ones have already started. Just this past week, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom started filming and is set for a release December 16th, 2022. Also started filming is John Wick Chapter 4, and it is set to release May 27th, 2022. It's great to see these movies start production, because with the pandemic, you never know what's going to happen. Like, who knows what will happen with the Delta variant. So while people are getting vaccinated and things are calming down in some places, it's good to film now in relative safety. We got a bunch of new trailers to watch this week, as studios focus on movies coming out in the fall. This includes a new trailer for Shang-Chi, a proper look at Halloween Kills, and first look at the Many Saints of Newark and Clifford the Big Red Dog. I watched all of them besides Clifford, and I liked what I saw. For Clifford, I will say this. 5-year-old me would love that this movie exists. Now, not so much. We got a few stories for VOD Premium, the first being Knives Out 2. It too has started filming this week, with production underway in Greece. Along with this, we got news of a new cast member, Ethan Hawke. Though since the news is coming from photos people are taking from the set and not officially from Rian Johnson or Netflix, it might be safe to assume it is either a small role or a big one that they were trying to hide. Either way, he's a great actor, so it's just another strong addition to the cast. No word on a release date yet, but at this rate, probably sometime next year. Next is NBC Universal, where they seem to have come to their senses a bit regarding Peacock. I talked about it a while ago when their pay one window deal with HBO was up at the end of the year, and they were debating on what to do with it. Now, thanks to a report from Wall Street Journal, it looks like they will not renew the contract and will be moving that window to Peacock. Obviously, the company had no comment on what those sources said to the newspaper, but assuming it is true, this is the best move they can do. If they want to be successful in streaming, you need a strong catalog of movies, not just TV shows. And Universal is one of the biggest studios in the world. There's no excuse for a lack of films on the service. And also, they can still make deals for other windows. This is just for after the movies are done in theaters and move on. Remember, Sony double-dipped and did a pay-one-window deal with Netflix, and then afterwards, some will go to Disney+. This is only bad news for HBO Max because they have been able to keep up a robust film collection, thanks to this deal, in part thanks to this deal. So for 2022 onward, they'll have to be more reliant on their own movies, which is kind of an issue because they still don't have access to Harry Potter and some others, thanks to signing away those before HBO Max launched. We'll have to wait and see on how they plan to fix that, maybe pay up front to end some of these contracts early, or just keep adding as much content to the service as they can to patch it up. Finally, we go to Amazon, where they have locked up The Rock's next movie. That's right, Dwayne Johnson will be starring in Red One, which will be an action-adventure comedy movie. He'll be teaming up with Chris Morgan, who, while not directing, but instead will produce and work on the script. They work together on Hobbs & Shaw. Also, Johnson's production company, 7 Bucks Productions, will be producing the movie. While they still need to find a director and, hire the rest of the cast, they plan on filming sometime in 2022 with a release in 2023. One thing I noticed is that they kept mentioning holiday for the movie, so probably holiday 2023. This is another sign Amazon Studios is looking to beef up their lineup for Prime Video, and I think we can expect more original movies like this being announced. During the pandemic, it was easy for them to go to Paramount and be like, what do you sell? Well, Paramount is back to releasing their films along with other studios, so now Amazon needs to do the hard work of negotiating with content creators and production companies. I assume they are already negotiating other deals, and we'll be hearing about them throughout the rest of the year. And that's it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Question for the episode is, did you go out and see F9 this weekend? If so, did you like it? Let me know on Facebook. Link to the page in the show notes. Thank you for listening.